Now, keeping our focus on the Kerala gold smuggling case, there have been a number of significant developments which have taken place with regard to the NIA investigation into the case, and the NIA is now probing a very crucial link. It is probing the link. It has found certain documents which it has accessed, which seem to suggest a close coordination between one of the accused, Swapna Suresh, and UAE consulate officials. Remember, the UAE had earlier said that they will be cooperating with the investigation in India. The probe is now focusing on a document by the UAE attaché authorizing Faisal Farid, one of the accused in the case. The documents being probed include a mail written by Swapna Suresh and a purported request from the UAE consulate to the customs asking for the cargo to be returned. Remember, 30 kgs of gold had in fact been seized by the customs department in Thiruvananthapuram last month, following which this entire investigation had started. And what we can also see is that there are more details which are tumbling out, and the NIA officials in fact raided the homes of two main accused, Swapna Suresh as well as Sandeep Nair in Thiruvananthapuram. The National Investigation Agency also raided the home of a jewellery store owner. This comes in from his jewellery store in Kozhikode, which was raided on Friday, and officials believe that some gold could be hidden over there. So on all these angles, I'm joined by my colleague Vivek, who will be joining us shortly on this. But essentially, as we can see, that the NIA investigation seems to be picking up steam, whether it is regard to the raids that they are carrying out in the state of Kerala, and also the fact that there have been people who have been arrested, and they are now investigating leads between the accused who have been arrested and also the UAE consulate, because it was a cargo which had been marked to the UAE consulate. There were people who were handling that cargo with regard to that who have also been picked up by the authorities, and they are being questioned. But they are also now specifically looking at certain documents which had been exchanged between one of the accused, Swapna Suresh, and UAE consulate officials. So these new documents could be throwing in more light into the investigation. In fact, let's just take a look at also what the Kerala Chief Minister has to say on this. The Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan lashed out at his opposition yesterday, calling it a campaign to tarnish the state government's image. He said, and I quote, "We have nothing to hide in this case, and the opposition is trying to create a smokescreen and to gain political mileage." That is Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan essentially hitting out at the opposition. Remember, there have been a lot of protests in the state with regard to this. I'm joined by my colleague Vivek on all this. Vivek, coming to you on the NIA investigation. Now, this new set of documents which have come under the scanner, documents which were allegedly exchanged between Swapna Suresh and the UAE consulate officials. This could be throwing in more light into the investigation. How exactly is the investigation progressing at this stage? If you could take our viewers through that.
As of now, the investigation is progressing at a very fast pace. What I understand is that, after the questioning of Swapna Suresh, the NIA and the customs has got major information which can connect the various dots in this particular case. Also, those people who are in touch with Swapna Suresh and Sarit and Sandeep Nair for quite some time, it's not just confined to these three people, but the higher-ups in this case are from various parts of Malappuram and Kozhikode, PK Ramesh and Saeed Alavi. There are at least 12 people, currently 12 people under the custody of the customs, and 5 people being under the custody of the NIA. They have been cross-questioned at this point of time. The documents which we received now clearly shows that Swapna Suresh was indeed trying to influence the consulate, that is the UAE consulate, and certain senior officials within the UAE consulate was very well aware of this particular case, of this, gold smuggling that's been going on for quite some time. It needs to be checked as how long was this nexus going on, whether it was for 1 year, 2 year, or 3 year, because Swapna Suresh actually managed to get a job in the UAE consulate in 2016, October, and she relieved the job in 2019, August. Now, from 2019 August, 2019 September, she managed to get a job under the IT department in a space project. Till then, so for that 1 long year, it was she who was managing to, collect the packages through the UAE consulate. So this is indeed a breach of protocols in various ways. If you look at that how is a person who is under the state government, under a contractual job under the state government, managing, the affairs of the UAE consulate is something which has to be questioned at this point of time. Who are those officials in the UAE consulate who were helping her? One thing is very sure, with the, she alone cannot do it. No, it is indeed with the help of certain diplomats and certain bureaucrats and, probably with the help of politicians at the higher up levels, without which she cannot. It is simply not possible to access diplomatic baggages, and that too for one continuous year. Not working over there. So various questions that needs to be seen. Yesterday, Swapna Suresh and Sandeep Nair was taken to various places here in Trivandrum for collecting the evidences from the various places where they stayed, where they worked, where they conspired. So all these places, these two people were taken, and the evidence collection process was going on, and it is yet to be known as what the next step is. Whether M. Shivashankar will be questioned by the NIA, so that is going to be the most important question at this point of time.
Right, Vivek. Thank you so much for joining us with all the latest update on that.